the best ways to take a break and de-stress is to take a yoga class. But have you ever heard of alpaca yoga? Well, neither had I until I visited Texture Farm this weekend and learned what it means to have a total alpaca zen. The National Weather Service has issued a flood warning for Denton Creek near Justin, Texas from 8 a.m. Thursday until late Friday morning.
Guys, I am having so much fun out here for Denton's National Night Out. As you can see, I've got my face painted and I'm hanging out with Barry the alpaca.
One of the downsides of negative campaign ads is they could deter potential voters from voting at all, leading to lower voter turnout.
Well, guys, just this morning, West Texas was struck with a 5.3 magnitude earthquake around 4:30 a.m. just outside the city of Mentone.
Well, Avery, I think it finally happened. I think our swimming days are over.
This is truly a tragedy.
Well, the only thing Texas Ranger fans love more than winning the World Series is celebrating it. That's why Arlington hosted a World Series title parade this past week, and it's safe to say that the Rangers fan base showed up and showed out.
All right, well, I have a question to ask you, and you're the perfect person to ask. Okay. But what are some of the on-camera talent positions that we have at NCTV?
North Texas is growing in population every year. And while that may be great for some, it can cause difficulties in finding affordable housing.
Madeline, behind me is a perfect example of one of the parking lots that is going to be home to UNT's new commuter system. It's called Stork Parking.
The judge also found that Trump and his company executives lied repeatedly about their yearly financial statements, which allowed them to get lower rates on loans and insurance premiums. This is a developing story, and NCTV News will keep you updated as it unfolds. It's not going to get any cooler anytime soon, but that doesn't mean that you still can't get that pumpkin spice latte. You know what I do is I usually get it iced, and then you get a little bit of both. A little bit of summer, a little bit of fall. It's great. If we take a look at our current conditions, some good economic news tonight. The California company Drink Pack is expanding to North Fort Worth, bringing 1,000 jobs and $452 million of capital investment to the region. In Washington, the federal government is at a standstill as the internal fighting among Republicans continues.
As you can see, I'm outside right now, and let me just say, we are definitely feeling the humidity and the wind. That's the aftermath from that storm last night.
Well, I'd have to say that pumpkin pie would be the best, with Thanksgiving coming up just as fast as those cooler temperatures. Join us again tomorrow at noon and tomorrow evening at 6 here on North Texas Television. Take Me Out to the Crowd meant joining hundreds of thousands of Rangers fans gathered to celebrate after Texas won their first World Series title against the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-0. This past Friday, just 2 days after the history-making game, I headed up to Arlington for the World Series title parade, where it all began for the Rangers, wrapping around Choctaw Stadium and then onto Globe Life Field. The crowd was jam-packed with fans who had traveled from all over the country to celebrate, all with a different story about what this Texas Ranger victory means to them.
I've been a Rangers fan my whole life. My grandma's a Rangers fan, and I'm really happy that she got to see them win their first World Series.
We've been Ranger fans forever. We've been in Arlington for a lot of years, and we're just so proud of our Rangers. I mean, they're such team players. They all have something really great to bring to the table, and I'm just really excited and happy for them.
They're awesome.
I just started to really like them last year because my neighbors are Rangers. They work for the Rangers actually, and they give us free shirts and everything. So I started becoming a Rangers fan.
For some, they're taking in the atmosphere of this big event.
I just think it's so cool for the community to come together for this huge event.
There's a lot of people here, and just the energy is amazing.
Yeah, and it's really huge.
For some, this win has traveled with them halfway across the world.
I've been a Rangers fan for 5 years. I'm actually from Australia. I moved here in April last year, and this year I pretty much watched every single game.
And for others, this means creating childhood memories.
It was devastation 12 years ago, and so this finally feels like redemption. But it's been 40 years of following the team. Now I get to share it with my kids. It's just been an unbelievable experience.
But all with one thing in common.
Go Rangers!
Go Rangers!
Go Rangers! Woo!
And let's go Rangers!
With an estimated 500,000 to 700,000 fans gathered in the Arlington district to celebrate this win, it was definitely hard not to get lost in the crowd.
That wasn't much of a squeeze.
The
parade featured marching bands from all 6 Arlington ISD high schools, Arlington city officials, Texas Rangers baseball staff, Hall of Fame players, and most importantly, Texas coaches and players who made sure to cherish the moment of their hard work paying off by piling into trucks and tossing Cracker Jacks into the crowds of cheering fans. By grilling out, playing games, and coming together to root for the home team, it doesn't get better than this at the Old Ball Game. With NTTV News, I'm Brooke Deering. In a world where namaste meets fluffy fleece, alpacas are joining the mats and finding their zen on a small farm in Aubrey, Texas.
So here it's all-inclusive, meaning you could be in any shape. Most people have never done yoga in their lives. I throw in some fun poses for the people that have done yoga before and they are yogis. And then I throw in poses that are super restorative and easy and accessible to everybody.
Just like their signature alpaca yoga, there is something for everyone at Texture Farm. This small farm is known for producing alpacas, lavender, honey, Christmas trees, and most importantly, memorable experiences.
It was great. It was part yoga, part just rolling around with alpacas. Would absolutely do again. Can't wait to bring my girlfriends out.
Because of their passion to connect people with nature, Texture Farm has given a new meaning to a breath of fresh air ever since they opened in March of 2021 as an answer to COVID.
We decided people needed to get outside and do something, and so we rolled the dice and turned our shearing of alpacas into a festival. 600 people showed up, and next thing we knew, this was our lives.
Shortly after opening their private residence farm doors to the community, Alpaca Yoga was born out of their love for alpacas and the outdoors.
Alpaca Yoga is special because the number of people who have been introduced to our farm because of it, they come out thinking they're going to do 1 hour of yoga, get their selfie, and they end up hanging out for 6 hours and just enjoying the farm. And then we see them time and time again, and it's just a way to connect with nature, with people. Love it.
Not only did I get to spend the day at the farm, but Russell and Heather let me join in on all of the alpaca yoga fun. And let me just say, taking one of these classes is definitely the best way to find your inner fleece. Each yoga session is an hour long, and afterwards you are free to stay and linger on the farm. When I asked Russell what he says to people when encouraging them to try out alpaca yoga, this is what he had to say.
Live. Man, when the opportunity presents itself, whether it's riding an ostrich or sitting down and doing yoga with an alpaca, take it, because you can't go back.
You can go onto Texture Farm's website to book an event, from an alpaca yoga session to a hands-on soap making class and so much more. It is truly an experience I will never forget. With NTTV News, I'm Brooke Deering.